Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to PhotoBiz Live. This is Joanne from the PhotoBiz team. In today's webinar, I'm going to show you an overview of some of our new e-commerce features that we've released along with Phoenix. There's a new layout in the content management system, as well as some new package and invoicing features, and I'm going to spend a few minutes giving you a look at these new features and how they work. In addition to getting this in-depth look at the new e-commerce features in today's webinar, we'll also have a question and answer session at the end of the webinar. You can submit your questions using the chat tool, and they'll be answered after the presentation. You can also join in the discussion on Twitter by using the hashtag PhotoBizLive. If at any point during today's webinar you have any difficulty hearing the speaker, me, or seeing the slides, please use the comment box and let me know. We'll also be recording this webinar, and it'll be available for replay on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/photobiz. With that being said, I'll jump right in. What we've done with Phoenix is we've kind of revamped, as most of you have had a chance, I'm sure, to log into your account and see. We've done some significant revamping of our content management system. And what we've done with our e-commerce in particular is we've added some more intuitive menus. We've added some new package options. Invoicing is now a standalone product, although you can still use it in conjunction with your store. Point of sale is also now a standalone product, and then we've got a new card swiper for the mobile system. So what I'm going to do now is go right straight to the control panel and show you some of the new features. Now, in the content management system section, we do still have the site builder and the store set up, or the e-commerce set up separate. So you're still going to build all of your pages under the site builder, but under the e-commerce, what we've done is revise our menus so that they're a little bit more intuitive for you. We've got the marketplace section. The marketplace includes products, services, prints, packages, and gift cards. And then events has their own section. So we've got events and the preferences and the renewals and the tracking. Invoices we'll take a more in-depth look at in a second, but we do have the invoices section, and then the registrations, again, is still an add-on. Discounts still works the same way, coupons and campaigns. And then over in the settings, we've now got general price lists, shipping, taxes, merchants, custom checkout, and order statuses. So what we've basically done is group everything a little bit more intuitively for you to make it a little easier for you to find the individual things. So we've kind of done away with the there was the section that had both the package setup and the price list setup. We've done away with that. Now your price list setup is going to be under your settings, and then your products and packages are going to be here under marketplace. So what I want to do is take you over to the packages section, because we've got some really nice new package options that we've introduced along with Phoenix. And what I'm going to do is take you into one of the packages that I've created, and you'll see now when you go into the packages section, you have a piece here called add-ons. When you click on add-ons, add-ons allows you to set up some poses and some prints that people can add in addition to what you've created for the package. And this gives you the opportunity to let people purchase some extras with the package. So let me just kind of pull up my site here, and I'll show you a little bit how it works. I'm going to sign into the cart. Okay. Okay, and I have a cart all set up already where I've added some items to the cart. I've added a package, and if you look at it, you can see you've got your normal additional package items here. And if I go in to any individual item, I can change. You know, if like for example, this one's maxed out, so one of one. I can't really add any more of them, but I could remove it if I wanted to. So basically, that's how your packages are currently working. So let me go back over here. And I'm going to say 2 additional poses for $5 per pose. Then I'm going to go down here and I'm going to say, all right, they can get 2 more 8x10s, 25 each. Let's say 4 more 5x7s, $10 each. 2 more sheets of wallets, and $15 each. And save the changes. Now I'm going to go over here, refresh my cart, and I'll show you how this will impact the setup of your package now. So now if I go over here and I click on this, now when I click on the quantity, I've got the option to add some of these additional poses for that extra price. And I can also add, for this image, I can add them to my other ones. So this really kind of expands the ability to allow people to add stuff to a package. You'll see this will be an option on every image that you've chosen. It'll give you this option. Now, let's say if I go to this image in the control panel, well, let's see. Okay, so now I'm going to take a look at my whole grid of images that I've got available, and here's one that I'd like to add to the package maybe. So I'll click on that, and when I click on Add to Cart Items, you can see that now I have the opportunity to add this from here as well as a completely new pose. So let's say I want to add 2 more 8x10s. Whoops. Okay, select all my options and add my 2 more 8x10s. And I'm going to continue shopping because I'd like to add some more packages to this. So I'm going to go back to the grid mode here. And let's see. I'll take a look at this picture. I like this picture, would kind of like to buy it, but as you can see now the 8x10 is no longer an option because I've filled the 2 additional ones that I had set up as an option to buy. So I can go down here and add up to 4 more of these. Let's say I do that and I add them. Okay, and I go to continue shopping. Well, let's see, I can go look at my cart and see what I've got now. Okay, so here's the ones I have. Okay, go back to my event. And as you can see, what this does is allow you to create packages that have quite a bit more flexibility in terms of what your clients can purchase. So now I'm going to add this extra sheet of wallets, and now I'm going to go to the cart and show you what the cart looks like. So now when I take a look at this particular package in the cart, you can see that I've added all of these additional poses. I'm allowed 2 additional poses, and you can see there's a total of 6 poses. And then I've added 2 more 8x10s, 4 more 5x7s, and another sheet of 8 wallets. So what this particular feature does is it allows you to really create a lot more flexibility in how you set up your fixed packages so that you can allow people who may want to pay a little bit extra to add additional poses and additional items to the package for an extra charge that you configure right here in the add-ons portion of the control panel. So, okay, invoicing. I'm going to take a look here at invoicing, and we'll look at this, and then we'll also take a quick look at how this will look as a standalone. But basically, invoicing, if you've used it before, you've kind of seen it, you've seen how it works, but we've made it quite a bit more robust. So this is looking at a particular invoice itself. And what will happen when you send this invoice out, it will send a link to somebody, and they will be able to click on it, and they'll get a page like this where they can pay via the methods that you have set up. So whatever methods that you have set up, now not every payment method works with invoices, and we'll take a look at that in just a moment, but whatever payment methods you have set up that are compatible with invoicing, they will be able to go pay the invoice. So let's take a little bit of a more in-depth look at setting up invoices. Okay, so, okay, if I say, let's see, okay, new invoice. And let's say here you're going to start building your invoice. So we'll put in the name here. And then under the description, you can put in anything that you want. So this is a really good way to set up a one-time payment situation. And again, if you don't have the e-commerce and you only want to be able to send invoices, you can purchase this as a standalone product. It's not a problem at all. So taxable, you can configure whether or not you want to you want to charge taxes and whether or not you want to charge shipping. So in this one, I'm going to say it's for a service, no taxes, no shipping, and the amount of the invoice is $500. Okay. At any point during the process, you can save your progress as a draft, and it will show you right here in the invoice number which of your items are drafts. All you need to do to go back into it is just click on the invoice name. Okay. So next step then is to put in all the billing information. So, and you'll fill in, let's see, your customer's email address, phone number, okay, country, city, state, zip code. And then you'll just click on next. And this will take you to where you can create a due date. You'll click on this option here, and then you can select. The default is going to be that day, but you can select a new due date if you want to give it a little bit more time. And this will also, there's an option here that will allow you to, whether or not you want to accept partial payments. If the invoice needs to be paid in full, then you'll select no. If the invoice can be paid partially, you'll select yes. And then you can make an invoice reference. So this is basically where you can name it something that will make sense to you. Like I'm going to say wedding deposit. Okay. Click on next. Okay. Now it'll have, this is going to be for an email that's sent to you or to your customer. You can customize this. There's some default text in there. So let's say, oops. I do know how to spell, I promise. So, okay, and I'm going to let this go with the default message because it says thank you for your purchase. We appreciate your business. And then you'll click on, now again, you can save the draft here, or you can click on send. You'll get the notice that the invoice has been sent, and it will take you back to your main page. Now here's the one that I just sent. And when you go into that invoice, you can resend the invoice if you need to. You can print it if you need to. You also have the option to copy the link. And when you copy the link, you can go into the browser, paste it, and this will take you to the payment screen. Now by selecting yes for partial payment, it gives me the option here to amend this number as the customer if I'm making a payment. If you have no selected, it does not give you that option. It's basically unchangeable. So then you can go ahead and put in the customer can put in all the payment information and submit the payment right to you. And this gives you the ability to send invoices for individual items, like I said, one-time thing or something that you don't want to put into your products or your services section of your shopping cart, or even if you want the option to send invoices without having to use the e-commerce portion of the store that involves events and packages and products, you can purchase invoices as a standalone item. Now let's see. Over here in the payment section, it's going to show you the balances due for that invoice and how much has actually been paid and when it was paid on. So let's see, some other options you have. You can sort here if you want to sort your invoices by due date, by client name. Of course, these are all the same because they're both me. Total and status, you have that option to do so. So if you want to, let's say if you're going to bill somebody in installments and you're going to give them an invoice, you can come here. Let's say this is the deposit and then their next payment is going to be the same amount. I can click on copy. It's going to make me a draft copy right here. I can click on this draft copy. I can go in and edit it however I want, put in the new information, change whatever changes that I need to make. Generally speaking, let's say I want to give this a due date now of the end of December, and then go ahead and send that invoice, and there we go. So this really gives you a whole lot of flexibility. Now, another thing that's really nice about these invoices is that the display is mobile responsive. So if you send your invoice and your client looks at their email on their tablet or their telephone, it's going to be responsive to the size of the device they're viewing on. So they can go ahead and put in their information right from their phone. And this is really helpful because so many people are using mobile nowadays that it just really makes it convenient for them to be able to see the invoice on their mobile device and pay you right from there. So now we're going to take a quick look at merchant setup with regards to the invoices, and there's something to kind of be aware of with invoicing, and that is not every merchant feature that we have at this point will work with invoicing. Credit cards will work with invoicing, as you can see here when you set up your merchant setup. It will show you the point of sale and the invoicing as well as the store, since those are now features that you can purchase as a standalone. But if I go here to something like offline payment, that's not compatible with invoicing. It is with point of sale. If I go over here to something like PayPal, that's not really compatible at this point with these either. So when you set up your merchant the invoicing, it's going to use what you have here as long as it's compatible. So in order to use the merchant or the invoicing as a standalone product, you're going to need to have access to a merchant type that's compatible with it. What I'm going to do at this point is hop over here where I have an invoicing account set up where that is the only e-commerce item on the account. And as you can see, the layout here looks quite a bit different. You've got the invoices, and of course these are all going to work exactly the same. The setup is exactly the same. Over here in settings, I just have a few items, and that's what I need to set up for invoicing. And I want to kind of point out to you with merchants, and that is when you're using invoicing as a standalone product, the only things that show up are the merchant abilities or merchant features that will work with invoicing. So it's not going to show you the offline payment. I know this one says PayPal here, and that is a feature that we are looking to incorporate at a future time, but it's not yet available yet on our main system. So if I go here to each one of these, they're going to give me the option to select for invoicing, and it will only show the ones that will work. So now one of the things that I want to also take a quick moment to show you, and I'll go back to the slides here, and that is the email that your clients are going to get when they purchase the invoicing. This is the email that your clients will get when you send them an invoice, and they'll be able to click on Pay Invoice, and that will take them directly to the invoice link itself. So now the next thing that we're going to take a quick look at, and I'm not going to delve too deeply into this because we will have a webinar on Thursday that will delve more deeply into the point of sale and the card swiper. But one of the new features that we have involving our e-commerce system that we're really excited about is that we now have the opportunity for you to use an actual card swiper with your mobile device. It plugs right into the top of your phone, and it works just like any other card swiper. You run the card through, and this allows you to get away from having to actually type in a card number when you use the PhotoBiz point of sale. Like I said, on Thursday, and I've got the date and time for you right there, Jeff P. will be doing more in-depth webinar where he'll talk about the point of sale and the card swiper, which is now also available by itself as a standalone product. So, and that is pretty much a rundown on all of the great new features that we have with Phoenix in the e-commerce. If you have any questions or there's anything that you'd like to specifically ask about, fire away. We also welcome any comments or any feedback that you want to give with regards to the new e-commerce features, as well as any questions. I also want to kind of point out too that if you do have any questions that arise at a later point, that if you're working with the new e-commerce and you need help with anything, you can certainly also always contact our passionate support team at 1-866-463-7620, and the passionate support team is available Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. You can also always submit a support ticket through your control panel, and they'll be more than happy to follow up with you on the next business day. Great. Well, if we don't have any more questions, I'll go ahead and wrap things up. And again, if you might want to, you can call support if you have any questions. I really want to thank everybody for taking the time to spend a few minutes with me to go over our new e-commerce. We're pretty excited about Phoenix and the new e-commerce system, and we're really looking forward to talking with each and every one of you with our support if you have any questions. A recording of this webinar will be available on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/photobiz, as well as on our knowledge base. Also, be sure to check out the blog and watch your email for updates about future webinars. Our next webinar will be Thursday. Again, this will be with Jeff P. from our passionate support team. He's going to go in depth about the point of sale and the card swiper system that we have. So if you're really interested in point of sale or using the card swiper, it's a great way to be able to take payments anywhere, anytime. If you're out at a convention or something and you sell some images or you sell some products or something like that and you want to take payment right there, the swiper will work perfectly for that. So I would definitely suggest signing up for that webinar. Okay, well, I guess that's it. This concludes this episode of PhotoBiz Live. Have a great day, everyone.